scrape me in the mouth. Yes.
I absolutely love Miley Cyrus.
That was the sickest snipe ever.
Hey.
No.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunner, also known as Chico Noise, two-time podcast host, guilty of a 5-year emo phase, 80% left-handed, 5% right-handed, and about 15% uncoordinated. You know the phase I'm talking about.
I'm just glad you only spent 5 years in it. Some of us are still in those years.
Oh, I've seen some of the people that are still stuck in that phase. I got out of it pretty quick. I cut my hair, and that was after I had dyed it.
I know, I got
colors.
proof. I got proof of that.
Yeah, it's called my contact picture on your phone, I'm pretty sure.
It is.
Oh my gosh.
It is. It's a gold mine. I love getting phone calls from you.
Yeah, I got the same thing with Darren. I have a picture of him when we were in college. Our first year, I took a picture of him, and you can see his feet, and he's taking a dump at Ball State. You can see his feet in the stall. Yeah. So every time I get a text from him, I just see that picture of his feet with his pants around his ankles.
That's awesome.
Worth it. The last part of that, I was thinking about it today when I was trying to write up that intro, and like 80% left-handed, 5% right-handed, 15% uncoordinated. And I grew up like I'm left-handed. No matter what, I get the black lines on my hands when I write. I do a lot of things left-handed, but I think when I was younger, learning from my dad and watching him do things, I learned right-handed things also. So I switch it up sometimes.
Ambidextrous.
So yeah, not for everything, but for some things. Like I golf right-handed. I played baseball right-handed. I caught and threw left-handed, but everything else right-handed. That's always weird.
You know, with basketball being my main sport, I learned that my left hand was just as important as my right hand. So I had to do a lot of anything I could do with my right hand, I could do with my left. There's some stuff I could do better with my left hand than I can with my right when it comes to basketball. I can only dunk with my left hand. I can't dunk with my right hand unless it's with two hands. But if it's a one-handed dunk, it's got to be with my left. It's weird.
Really?
Yeah, it was weird.
Even though, are you still jumping off your right foot?
I was a 2-footed jumper.
Oh, okay.
So,
so you jump plant. You jump plant and slam it down.
Yeah, that's why most of my stuff was two-handed. Every once in a while, if I was moving, I could go. I've dunked a couple times off one foot, and it was always off my right foot, so it'd be left-handed.
But off my right foot, yeah, like a backwards.
Yeah, it's a little messed up because as a little kid you're taught left, especially being right-handed, jump off your left foot for a right-handed layup. Yeah. It's just embedded into my mind.
Yeah, because that arm you go up with has to your leg pretty much follows it up, right?
Imagine that there's a string attached from your elbow to your knee.
Mm-hmm.
So when your knee goes up, your elbow goes up.
I'm learning the basics of basketball. I'm gonna be a pro.
So literally, when you teach kindergartners and first graders about basketball, you have them walk around, and the only thing they're doing is just walking with one, like they're just it's pretty funny, but yeah. But I mean that's just how you're taught. So
hey.
And then I shoot pool left-handed, and yeah, and I for some reason, I can kick a soccer ball or a football, anything, a heck of a lot better with my left foot than I can with my right foot.
Once again, not to bring Darren up, but he does the same thing. Like
he's a weird
always
dude.
With his left. He kicks with his left foot, but I kick with my right foot, and I'm left-handed. So I mean,
I don't know. I wish I could explain the madness. When I eat, I always eat. I have the knife in my left hand and the fork in my right. It's opposite of what it should be.
Yeah, because I actually think that's the right way to eat. I've actually heard that before. If you're right-handed, you want to hold your eating utensil in your left hand and cut with your right.
See, right? I don't know. we're gonna sound pretty dumb right
Oh,
now, but
yeah, 'cause I
I'm
don't
trying
know
to
either.
think because I'm trying to think because I think it's supposed to be. I think you're supposed to eat with your left and cut with your right.
Yeah, that sounds right. I don't know. Leave in the comments to let us know what's proper
Yeah,
etiquette for eating because apparently we don't do it right. I don't think I've
apparently.
ever ate right. I'm left-handed. I do nothing right apparently to most people. So
Knife is in my left, fork is in the right.
literally left-handed people do nothing right. So it's all good.
Up, but
Oh, so how's it going? You have a good week, good weekend, good. I haven't
Yeah,
talked to
man,
you
I'm on the
in a
mends. I'm
while.
feeling a lot better.
You
Still got
sound a lot
some,
better.
yeah, still got some snuffles and whatnot. So, Easter weekend coming up, so I'm going to my sister's,
Nice.
hanging out there with the family. So, it'll be a good time, fun time. Easter egg
Yeah.
hunt on Saturday at the church, and gonna be a good time.
Tell William to get me a bunch of candy while he's out there.
I, he's I don't know what's flipped in him, but he's like at first when he started walking, it was just like point A to point B. That's it. Like today, I was doing the dishes, unloading the dishwasher, and he just takes off,
2
and
feet on the ground.
yeah, he's just walking, and he does like a down and back, and I didn't even know until he fell back on the way back.
Yeah.
It made a noise. I was like, oh, this isn't good. My my false sense of security is no longer there of him screaming whenever he walks.
Yeah, always leave that basement door closed, and you better get a guardrail for the upstairs because he's gonna be trying here soon.
Well, I've got the rail for the upstairs. It's for the basement. Basement door stays closed pretty
Closed.
much all the time.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're feeling better.
yeah,
I
me
mean,
too.
I saw you. What was that? Sunday morning, and you
Oh
seemed like you were doing a little bit better. But
yeah, Sunday I was starting to feel a little bit better than Monday. I don't know what happened. It came back and kicked me right back in the teeth.
mm,
But Tuesday was kind of rough. Wednesday I felt better. Today I'm feeling much better. So
that's good. That's good.
what about you, brother? How you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. I had a long day at work today, so that was fun. A lot of people calling and going and doing stuff, and yeah, up and down the stairs, and man, it was a lot. It was busy. Other than that, I'm good. I'm off to Pennsylvania next week, and we talked about that last episode, but I'm off to Pennsylvania
Yay.
and ready to get that plant up and running. I feel like I came in late to the project, but man, I feel like I put a lot of work into it, so
Now
I'm
once that
ex-
plant's up and running, are you gonna have to go back?
um I don't know, not
Okay.
100% sure, but there's a there's a lot of work that we still have to put in, and next week is the start of that work. So
I get that.
I'm gonna be there quite a bit. So expect a lot of episodes coming from a hotel in the middle of Pennsylvania.
On the road again.
Yeah, that's right. I gotta make sure my laptop's up and running, and I'll be ready. I'll be good to go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Ooh,
no, I've been good. It's been a good week.
good.
Um, Moon Knight episode 3 came out. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It was good. It was it continued the story on. There's a lot of stuff going on that still needs to answer questions, of course, but I love having that Wednesday thing. Like I get home and I know what I'm doing right when I get home on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I try to do it before you call me. I know you haven't watched at that point, but
Yeah, I always have to watch it I always have to watch it late at night on Wednesday.
yeah. Like I said, I think I'm more excited for the Star Wars stuff coming out and getting into Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, and I feel like there's always something we forget to mention. Like we forgot to mention Morbius when we talked about before, and we're gonna be doing an episode on Morbius here soon. And then I don't think we've really said anything about Doctor Strange coming out, and that's under a month away now.
Yeah, we haven't hit on that at all.
Yeah. But let's not talk about Marvel. Let's not talk about Star Wars today. Let's I heard you have a question for me.
I do have a question of the pod.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
What you
here it
got?
is. Buckle in.
Okay.
Okay, strap it in.
I'm in.
You're home alone. You've got no responsibilities for dinner. Okay, so that you don't have to cook. Nobody's bringing you food. What are you doing for dinner? You could do whatever you want.
Mm,
Not don't take in consideration where you live. Say you live in a big city. and you have every place is available for you. Where are you going to eat? Where's the one place that your wife or significant other would be like, you know what? I don't feel like going there, but every time you get to pick, you're going there. What are you picking?
I've got two simple answers.
Okay, let's hear them.
The first one is Sarah absolutely hates Chinese buffets. She won't eat them. So when she's not home, boom, I'm hitting the Chinese buffet and I'm eating as much as I can. And I don't know why she doesn't like them. I don't know if it's the whole food sitting out thing, but man, I just love China. I love Chinese food, and Chinese buffets are just the easiest way to get a lot of Chinese food all at once and satisfy me for a long period of time. The other one is also a place that she will not has never been there, never will go there. And every time she is gone, KFC.
Really?
Dude, I have not had KFC in probably close to a year. And
Wow.
now that we're talking about it,
That's
I
rough.
really want some KFC because
I'm sorry, brother. You got to deal with that.
oh, it sucks. It sucks so bad. But yeah, she has her reasons behind not wanting to eat KFC, and it's okay. I just get
Okay,
it.
fair
I just
enough.
get it when I can.
I understand.
Sometimes somebody will text me and I'll go out and we'll get KFC, just because.
I'll have to remember that. I'll have to
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah. When we're hanging out, KFC. If you don't have an idea for food, just say let's just go to KFC, and I will get them. I will get one of everything on the menu because I haven't had it in so long.
See, that's my problem living where I live. It's KFC doesn't even draw my mind. come
Yeah,
come across my mind.
I drive past one every single day too. Twice. I
Oh,
drive past it twice, and I always look at it and go, yeah.
I
It's
wonder.
fun to tease Sarah though.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
it really is. What about you?
I have two places as well.
Okay.
Mostly based around the same food group. Stop number one is Wingstop.
Okay. I like
They've
me some
got what
Wingstop.
they've. Yeah, I love Wingstop. I ate it when I lived in Florida, and they got one here in Fort Wayne, like 5 minutes from my house.
Mhm.
I could have Wingstop every night. Wingstop, if you're listening to this, I just want you to know, if you wanted to sponsor this, I'd eat a 20-piece every episode with those voodoo fries that you guys got.
Mm.
Oh,
Let their ranch. Their ranch is phenomenal.
oh, it's homemade.
Oh,
That's why it's
so
so
good.
good. Every ranch that is homemade is good ranch.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If they don't make it in store, it's crap ranch.
What about Hidden
Um,
Valley?
say well, that's what they're making.
Oh, you're true. True. Okay. Right on. Right
So,
on.
um, second place, is Outback, but it's not a traditional order at Outback. So growing up where we grew up, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
me and my dad, we would always drive. We'd always drive to places and have fun and doing stuff like that. So whenever there was an Outback, we would always order 2 orders of wings
Okay.
because they as starter their starter wings. They are low key some of the best wings around. I love them. They're right up there with Wingstop wings. I don't know what or how the breading, the gosh, it makes me just want those wings now. Um, and so, more of a guilty pleasure would be, and memories, is bringing up those wings from Outback and then getting an order of a side salad with ranch or their Aussie cheese fries.
Oh man.
Like that's the go-to order at Outback if it's like a quick in and out type of thing. So those
I,
those would
I
be my options.
yeah, I like Outback. I have never had their wings though.
You gotta. Yeah, I always say at least have them one time, and if you
Okay.
don't like him, you don't like him. I just grew up on him,
Yeah.
and it was something me and my dad would do, and I can't wait to share that with my son. But he's probably gonna think I'm weird.
No. No, you'll just rub off everything that you like is gonna rub off on him. You know that, right?
I sure hope so.
So okay, go to Outback, try the wings, and I love Wingstop too. Oh man, we did that when we went and saw your birthday. We did
Yeah,
Wingstop. We did
yeah, we
Wingstop.
did.
Yeah, when we went 3 movies in one day. We went and
We
saw The
could have done
Matrix and Kingsman and Ghostbusters.
correct.
Yeah, all on the same day. That was a
That was a
fun
fun
day.
day.
It
That was
was.
a fun day. I'd love to be able to do that like every year for my birthday because my birthday kind of falls around during a slow time of the year.
Yeah.
Um, so I would, if I could make that like an annual birthday tradition, I would, but I just don't think my my wife would go for it.
If your birthday falls during the week or whatever and you could get the day off, that would be reasonable.
That would I would love for that to be a traditional thing
Yeah.
along with a Whopper.
That's still one of the funniest things that's
So
ever
we
happened.
started the day out. It was the first movie at like noon, 12:30, somewhere around there.
Yeah, The Matrix was the first one.
And we had another buddy join us for the Matrix movie, and he's like, "Dude, I don't know what to eat. I think I'm gonna get get Burger King." So he gets a Whopper and takes it into the theater, and we're sitting down, and it's getting ready to start. So you know how it gets, the whole theater goes dark, and the next thing we hear is the crinkling of the wrapper, and I just lost it.
I look over and all you see is just a big old bite coming out of that Whopper.
It
Oh,
is too funny.
that was a good time. That was a really fun day. I could see doing that once a year.
Yeah,
Three
I
movies and go.
if I could do it once a year, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the question that I was thinking of, and hopefully you know, we get some comments on it on what people's you know, guilty pleasure for eating out place.
So since you do live in a bigger city
Uh-huh.
and I live here in a smaller city, if you if you are going out to eat, is there like that one place that you would choose every time? Not like a guilty pleasure, something that you do. Just like what's the one place you guys choose to go all the time? Do you guys do like a um Don Halls or like a just like a
So
sit down?
we we try to switch it up. Like we've been trying a couple new Mexican places, trying to figure out which one we like. What we've come to find out is that there really is not that bad of many that many bad options for Mexican and
Yeah. Dose is good. I like Dose margaritas. I thought that one was really good.
yeah.
Um
We found a really good Chinese place. That is awesome. We really enjoy that. We
nice.
did a couple in trial and errors on some other places, and this place is just the best by far. I think I've taken you there. I think we've gotten food from there before.
Yeah, probably.
Um, we do have an Italian place that we really like. Like the beauty of like living where I live is it's not about like what you want, so to speak. It's like what are you hungry for? Like what food type
Yeah.
are you hungry
Yeah.
for?
See, that's what like being in this smaller town and Plymouth doesn't really have a whole lot of sit down restaurants that are up for one a bar because usually if we go out we go to a bar and sit down and have a couple drinks. But the Brass Rail is I don't know. I don't know why I like it so much. The food's not highly priced. I mean, the drinks are always good, usually kind of strong, but man, I guess I really like the atmosphere of the place. You walk in and it's just nice and quiet and low light and the people there are always super nice. And yeah, the Brass Rail is like our go-to if we're just gonna go out and sit down for dinner. Usually on a Friday night, we'll just go out and
Yeah, man, I got a kid that it doesn't
that's
happen
true. That's
anymore.
true. Yeah, you guys are ordering now. Let's order it in.
Yeah, now we're thinking about, okay, how long's the wait time?
Mm-hmm.
Can we get it if we get it delivered here? What time is that?
Yeah,
Blah 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 blah. Yeah, that kind of stuff. A lot more logistics than to just be like, hey, let's go out.
yeah.
Even though in probably my wife's defense, even before the kid, I wasn't too big into that, and so we went out a little bit more, but
Oh, we
it's kind of early bird special here. So
yeah.
if you don't get out early enough, you're stuck.
Oh yeah. I've like BJ's. The wait there is always long unless you go
Yeah,
at like 4:15.
3:30.
Yeah, you might not have a wait. Like you get the end of lunch and the beginning of dinner, and I really like BJ's too. That's always been one of my favorite places. They have really good pizza. Their flatbreads or whatever they call them.
Chicken parm. I think they got some of the best chicken parm in town.
Right on. BJ's
Just
Brew House.
seasoning wise.
BJ's Brew House in Fort Wayne. If you want some really good food and good beer, it's a good place to go. Right by Glenbrook, right on Coliseum.
Yeah.
Good food. All right, Colton.
All
What
right, man.
what are we talking about today?
I think we're talking about our top 5 sports movies.
I think you're right.
Oh my gosh.
This has been a hard one. A very hard one. I don't know why it's so hard until you I guess if you look to see how many sports movies there are, and
Oh, there's a
there
ton.
are probably thousands upon thousands of sports movies. So we kind of had to limit ourselves. And let me give you some backstory on this. I was at work, and Rob at work, who is a huge Chiefs fan, and he always talks to me about the Chiefs, listens to the podcast, loves the podcast, by the way. He watches all the Marvel stuff. And I mean, I don't know how old Rob is, but he's older than he's probably the same age as my dad, I would say. I don't know. Probably about 50. Probably
Hey,
close.
don't put him on blast, okay?
Yeah, sorry, Rob. I don't know how old
He's
you are.
probably one of the few. He's probably one of the few trustful, faithful followers we have.
Rob, you look like you're in your 20s. I'm just gonna say it right now. So he comes up to me after I want to say it was the Star Wars episode. He's like, "Hey, I have an idea for you guys to talk about for your podcast." He's like, top 10 sports movies, and he starts naming off all his, and I'm like, "That's pretty good. I like it. I like it." So I took it down to top 5 because Colton and I both played sports, and we both love sports, and Colton more so than me at this moment in my life. But um, yeah, so we took it down to 5, and I've been asking everybody I see, "Hey, what are your top 5 sports movies? What are your top 5 sports movies?" And nobody really has the same ones, which is kind of cool to hear all these different ones. And then it makes me think like, "Oh, yeah, that should be in mine too. That should be in mine too." So there's a lot of them, and it was hard to choose them, but I'm ready. I'm ready to talk
Okay,
about it.
man. I'm ready too.
So let's just start. What was your? We're gonna go from 5 to 1, and I
Okay.
think I think what we'll do is we'll get when we get down to 2. I know we both have some honorable mentions that we want to talk about. I'm sure with like I said, with that whole all those movies, there has to be some that you thought of that you wanted to be up there, but you're like, I can't do it. So we'll have some honorable mentions, and then we'll get to number 1. So just give me your number 5 and tell me why.
See, I think I'm gonna start it out with a basketball movie made in 1992.
Right on.
White Man Can't Jump.
White man can't jump.
Um, Classic Woody, early Harrelson, pre-tax evasion Wesley Snipes. um, just their chemistry was great. Rosie Perez, kind of it to me made that movie a little bit more than I thought she would. The more I watched it, the more I liked her.
Yeah.
Um, her one of my favorite scenes in that whole movie is her Jeopardy coming out scene where she's just rattling off all the answers and winning. And so yeah, I mean, growing up, I played basketball a lot, so I've heard the phrase "white man can't jump" a lot, but I'd like to think I knocked that stigmatism down.
I said, didn't we just talk about you, Duncan?
Yeah.
You are pretty tall
So
though.
not really, man. I've played some games where I'm the shortest guy on the floor, so
Mm,
those are intimidating games, yeah, but I will say this, I have dunked on a 7-footer.
mm.
Um I was 1 for 6 in attempts though. But I was going until I got it. And
There you go. There you go.
so I've dunked on a couple people. I almost dunked on a kid that looked like Harry Potter. Uh
Did he have the scar and everything?
He he didn't have a scar. Okay, he might have. Okay, but he had those round glasses.
Yeah.
And I was at Cincinnati playing in an AAU tournament on main court, which is kind of a big deal. And I get this steal, and this guy comes up, and this Harry Potter looking dude undercuts me, and I throw it off the back of the rim. And next thing I look back, thinking, man, did that go in? And I see the ball bounce one time at half court. I was like, that didn't go in.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
So yeah, White Man Can't Jump. I think it's a great movie.
I haven't seen it in years,
Yeah.
and it's probably one of those I should go back and watch. You see Woody Harrelson now,
Yeah,
and
it's
the different roles he's in, and yeah, it's kind of it's a funnier movie, right? I mean, it's got some funnier moments in it.
yeah, I still think it's more I think it's more about a basketball movie than a comedy movie.
Okay, right on.
I think that's one of the big things that Gunnar and I wanted to kind of hit on. We wanted to hit on more. We want the movie to be more about the sport than it being a comedy and a
Yeah,
sport.
I think sports dramas are more of a sports movie than a sports comedy because I feel like you lose a lot of that sports stuff in that. When you have a sports drama, usually it has to deal with more of the sport itself. So I yeah, but they can have funny moments. Like okay,
Yeah,
my number 5
yeah. Let's hear it.
is a baseball movie,
Okay.
a good movie that came out in 1989, directed by director David Ward, called Major League.
Oh my gosh,
It is
that's awesome.
I absolutely love Major League, and I love The Wild Thing, man. I It's one of those movies that I probably haven't watched in 5 or 6 years, but if I watched it,
Just a bit outside.
yeah, if I watched it, I'd just get right back into it. I
Yeah, it's pretty
love,
good. Yeah, that's actually that's I won't spoil anything, but yeah, that's a good pick. I like that pick.
yeah, yeah. I loved I don't necessarily think I love Charlie Sheen, but in Major League he's really good. In a lot of his older movies, and like you get back into the older days of Charlie Sheen, he's just an enjoyable actor at that point. When he got a little bit older, it's like, yeah, he's whatever. But yeah, Major League, man. There's so many memorable scenes in that movie, and
I say one. I say one. I play slow pitch softball and I
yeah.
play left field. And when there's a home run hit over me, I say, too high, too high, it's too high.
Oh man, yeah. I
What does that
totally.
even mean?
I'm gonna go back and watch it. I might even watch it tonight. Now that we're talking about it, just
You
because
should.
it's so
It's a
good.
good, I think to me, that's a good nighttime movie because you could fall asleep to it
Yeah,
and still rewatch it the next night and be like, oh, this is still funny.
yeah. And it's not all just a comedy. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of baseball. There's a lot of baseball in that movie. And I just love like the fact that it's, you know, a bunch of guys that are just eh, right? I mean, they're not all great baseball players. I mean, Charlie Sheen's practically blind. The the catcher gets injured. Like I mean, they're not great. It's just fun to watch those guys that and didn't the owner like she created the team pretty much on like
Well,
accidentally made them good.
she
Yeah, she
owns
owns
the
the
team, and she's trying
Cleveland
to get the
Indians.
team relocated to Florida.
Hmm.
So that's why she assembles this hodgepodge of players so that the team sucks so bad that they're able to meet the requirements to get relocated.
Yeah, and is it Miami? I think she's trying to go to
Yeah,
Miami.
it was the Marlins.
Yeah, so the Cleveland Indians become the Marlins,
Well, they're the
but they
Cleveland
don't.
Guardians now. They're the Cleveland Guardians
Oh yeah,
now, just
sorry,
so you
sorry,
know.
sorry, sorry. Well, this is back in 1989, so
That's true. This is
sorry.
before people's had their feelings hurt.
Yeah,
But bats for hats.
that's right. Oh man, Wild Thing.
Oh,
With big
that's a
old
great
glasses.
movie. That is a great movie.
Yeah, yes it is. So
Uh,
let's go on. Number 4. What you
Number
got?
4, my number 4 movie is a golf movie made in 2000.
Only 22 years old.
I know, I know.
Isn't that crazy?
It is called The Legend of Bagger Vance.
You see my face as you
I
said
did
that.
see your face.
As in, I've never seen
Young,
this movie.
young Matt Damon.
Oh, okay, Matt Damon.
Will Smith is in it,
Hmm.
and I can't remember the leading lady, but Matt Damon is a golfer who goes off of the war. I think it's World War II or one. I don't know, one of the world wars. He comes back. He's messed up, that kind of stuff, and he's looking to get back into golf Bagger Vance is a caddy who is played by the Will Smith character who comes out of the cornfield one night when Matt Damon is just randomly hitting golf balls into a field trying to find a swing. So the movie's about that relationship between why he really loved golf,
Okay.
and Bagger is there to help him find his way back to where his heart is. So it's a really good golf movie. I think it just might be a sentimental thing. We would go on golf trips in high
Yeah.
school, and that was always a movie we watched. So
Yeah.
um,
I can't say I've ever seen it.
it's not bad. I'm not gonna say it's super super awesome. I think it's just more of a sentimental reason that it's up here.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, what would be yours? What's your number four?
So this movie came out in 92.
Okay.
So it's a couple of years older than me. But that's important. It's important that this movie is older than me. It's directed by Stephen Herrick, who's probably one of my favorite directors of all time because Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Rockstar were both directed by Stephen Herrick. And in the back of my mind, I knew that he directed the Mighty Ducks, but I didn't think about it until I was, looking up, some of the stuff and like the year it came out and all that. But for those of you that don't know and don't know me, I usually tell this story to most people. I'm actually named after the Icelandic forward in the Mighty Ducks 2 when they play in the is it the Pee Wee Olympics or the Junior
Yeah, Pee Wee.
Olympics?
Yeah, Junior Olympics.
So Gunner Stahl, I'm actually named after him, which is just a fun story to tell people. But yeah, the Mighty Ducks, the first one, I just maybe
Emilio.
yeah, Emilio Estevez, which is funny because Major League is Charlie Sheen and Emilio is Charlie Sheen's brother. So put the family up there, boys. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those movies. I always love to watch it. I actually watched it not too long ago, and it still holds up. It still holds up really well. And seeing the Mighty Ducks show that came out, and seeing Gordon Bombay come back and actually be in that show and still played by Emilio Estevez. Um, by the way, you can watch it on Disney Plus. So if you want to go watch it, go watch it. Disney Plus.
He's not on the second season.
No, no. um, the movie is actually on there too. So go watch
All three of
all
them.
three of
All
them.
three
Yeah,
of
I
them.
say all three of them are on there. But yeah, it was one of my favorite movies as a kid, and knowing that I was named after a character from the second one just kind of gives it that it's in my heart as one of my favorite franchises. And whether it got worse as it went on or better, it doesn't really matter. And I think we all know that the third one wasn't great, but yeah. And then it's directed by one of my favorite directors, so that makes it worth it too.
Pretty neat.
Um, yeah, the Mighty Ducks, man, and it's a hockey movie, and I
Yeah.
love hockey. I love hockey more so for just the aggressiveness and the fast moving and the pace of hockey is just fun to watch. You can get lost in hockey because you have to watch it so intently and you have to be paying attention to where everybody's at all at one time. So yeah, the Mighty Ducks. And that's where the Flying V games came from, actually. When we first started Flying V games, um, it was during like I don't know, mid fall when the geese started flying. And I know they're not ducks, they're geese, but they always fly in that formation. So when we were coming up with a name for our gaming streaming stuff, I was like Flying V. And then obviously the Mighty Ducks, that was their signature thing was the Flying V. So yeah, Mighty
Oreo
Ducks.
line.
Yeah.
So my third movie, made in 2000, based off of pretty accurately true story from what I understand, is Remember the Titans. Denzel, great performance. Really, I thought everybody that was cast in that movie was good. The head coach in real life, true story. I mean, he coached and he did do what he did, but then he did get fired because he was a little too rough on the children. Which is kind of sad to see, but from watching from watching that movie, that seemed like a pretty accurate depiction
Yeah.
because he was rough.
Yeah.
But I think that's how football was back in those days. So it's a timepiece too, so it really talks about the segregation and That too, I like that history of it, learning about it
Yeah,
and just seeing it from their perspective and how sports
bring together.
yeah, sports has a weird way of bringing people together.
Yeah,
Um, you know, because it's not a, it's about to me it's about winning. And
yeah,
it shouldn't matter who's on the team or anything like that. It's about having the best in football, the best 11 guys on offense and defense, and I guess special teams too. But it's about having those guys. And it doesn't matter who you are, what your name is, what color you are. It's about the best 11 playing. And
yeah,
that's the one thing that I love that that movie brings out is not only did the coaches realize it, but towards the end of the players started to realize it too. And that's what the focus just became about was just winning. And I like those. I still like to think that that is still a thing today, but sometimes I believe it, sometimes I don't.
yeah,
Um, Whether it be good or bad. Unfortunately, it's a fact of life, and I don't understand why, but it is. But I think I like that. It's probably one of the most quoted movies I do
yeah.
with friends. So that's why it is on number 3 on my list.
It is a very, very good movie, and it's a pretty intense movie too. I mean, there's moments in that movie where you're just like on the edge of your seat because you're like, wow, this he was an intense coach. Like he pushed the players and he pushed the kids, and I could see why that being pretty much a true story is spot on. I guess. I mean, it's been a while since I've watched that one too, and I do like Remember the Titans. It's a good
Yeah,
movie.
this is a good movie.
Yeah.
What's your number 3?
My number three, I'm gonna take you back to Cleveland.
I
I'm gonna take
hate
you
Cleveland.
back to Cleveland. I have
Cleveland sucks.
I mean I heard people I know people have a lot of mixed opinions about Cleveland, but I went to Cleveland and all I had was fun in Cleveland. We went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We went to Wahlburgers. We did a bunch of fun stuff when I was in Cleveland. Saw 30 Seconds to Mars when I was in Cleveland. So I mean, there's yeah,
Okay,
Cleveland
okay.
has some good memories for me.
The Rock and
Uh,
Roll Hall of Fame is something I want to do though.
you'd love it. It's a blast.
I know I would.
So let me take
Okay.
you back to Cleveland.
Okay, so we're back in what's in Cleveland?
So this movie is newer, released in 2014.
Oh jeez.
It is a football movie. It is a very good way to depict the one time of the year that most football fans either dread or love, and that is draft day. And I think I like this movie just because it is one of those that's just a straight up drama, and there's a lot that goes on in the movie. Your blank face is just telling me that you absolutely hate this movie.
I I'm a Cubs fan as we can tell
Hmm.
right there. We did beat the Cleveland Indians at the time,
Yeah.
3-1, down 3-1 for our first World Series in 108 years. Um, I love that Cleveland is the dumpster fire of all professional sports. Um,
Yes.
until LeBron brought them a championship, Cleveland is still and always will be garbage. Um, I'm convinced uh, they're in purgatory. They need to get right with Jesus and need to figure it out because I think that God is purposely blaming them for things that they have
Oh
or
my
have not
gosh.
committed.
I just got you real deep into Cleveland.
I love that the fact that every sports team in Cleveland is garbage.
Man, I opened up a can of worms. Okay, so wait, back to the movie. This movie follows this movie follows the Cleveland Browns and their journey to draft day. And Sonny Weaver, who is the GM of the Cleveland Browns at the time, which it's not fully a true story, and I don't think it actually is a true story at all. It's just kind of based on. Um, he just kind of has to wheel and deal his way to getting the picks that he wants while he's still trying to please the owner and the coach and all these people that are just throwing him all these ideas on who he should pull. He should pull this guy. He should pull this guy, and it ends really really nice. I mean, it's just a good movie. I've enjoyed it, and I think the one thing that sticks out to me in the whole movie is when they do the flyover of Arrowhead Stadium, and he's calling the GM of the Chiefs, and he's talking to them. But that's not the only reason I like the movie. It'll keep you it'll keep your attention. They don't spend the whole time in Cleveland, and it's just enjoyable. No, I'm sorry, Colton. I'm sorry.
On to the next question.
All right, give me your number two. We'll just get past draft day. My dad might kick you one though on this because he loves draft day too. So
That's fine. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of the emperor.
yeah, be afraid. He'll execute Order 66 on you.
Order 66. Second favorite movie is a baseball movie made in 1989.
Mm-hmm.
I cry at the end
Okay.
of this movie every single time. It's Field of Dreams.
Okay.
If you build it, they will come. He will
Yes.
come
Yes.
all the time. Gets me. He plays catch with his dad at the end, and I just break down every single time.
Yeah.
Cool little thing. Starting last year, the MLB is starting to play games at that in that at that field because there's actually
Really?
like 2 fields out there, and one of them is big enough to hold an MLB game. But the
Huh.
only problem is that there's only like 2,000. There's not a lot of seats out there.
Yeah.
So when people get seats and they sell them for like 5 times what they're worth, which kind of sucks. But the Cubs actually play this year out there, and that would be really cool to go. But that would be hella expensive.
Where's that set at? You know?
Iowa.
Oh, it is Iowa. Okay.
Yeah.
All the corn and all the
Oh yeah.
wheat and all the.
And it's really
Okay.
cool. It's kind of a little, no pun intended here, but it's a little corny,
Yeah.
because they have them walking through the corn
Yeah.
to get onto the field, like in
Yeah.
the movie,
Nice.
which is kind of cool. It does talk about that White Sox team, that infamous White Sox team with Shoeless Joe Jackson and all that. That's a really
Yeah.
cool piece of history. Kind of how they're in that baseball purgatory for what they did. So that was that kind of premise, and it's about finding his dad and that journey he has to go on, and it's
Yeah.
just it's a movie that's near and dear to my heart. Baseball, I grew up playing a lot, learned it from my dad and my mom. So to me it's just a heart-wrenching movie every time, and I do cry at the end of it every time.
Man, I love baseball movies, and Field of Dreams is such a good movie. It's not in my top 5, but I would say it's probably in my top 10. Yeah, I think just that whole thing of watching him, struggle, and in the end he plays catch with his dad, and you just get to feel that. Like you're just like, wow, that's pretty amazing. And I'm sure that hits you a little bit more with certain things, but like there's yeah, it's just one of those things that makes your heart feel good when you're watching it. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I cried towards the end of that movie, but I don't really cry during a whole lot of things. So I do cry during my number 2. Yeah.
Oh.
This number 2 was hard for me. I thought Varsity Blues was going to be up there.
Okay.
And I told
Solid
myself
pick.
Varsity Blues is going to be 1 or 2. And I thought and thought and thought and thought. And then I thought back to it and I was like, Varsity Blues is a comedy.
I give you that.
More than anything, I think it's a comedy. And you and I had discussed that really comedies don't fit in what we're talking about now. So I took it out. But it's definitely in my top 5 of all time sports movies.
Yeah.
Or movies that deal with sports, not sports movies. So I'm thinking, and luckily Chris walks into my office and is talking, and we're talking about what tonight's episode is about. And I was like, it's about top 5 sports movies, and we're talking. He named off a couple, and he said this one, which is a baseball movie starring my boy Keanu Reeves,
Oh.
released in 2001. And I like it when you call me
Call me
Big
Big
Papa.
Papa. Throw your hands in the air if you're a true player.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I know the movie.
Hardball. It is Oh man, it's a good movie. And it's that cheesy, you know, late 90s kind of drama, I guess. And although it did come out 2001, which I thought it was earlier than that, but yeah, young Keanu Reeves, he gets into some gambling issues, and his buddy is like, "Well, here, coach this little league team that I have to coach for." It's like it's his job, I think it is. So he goes out and he coaches this team, and it's a team of misfits sort of thing, and they're all from the projects, and they're all getting in trouble, and they're most of them are funny, and the one kid, I can't think what his name is, but um yeah, it is such a good movie. And when I thought back to it, and I own it on DVD somewhere, and I absolutely love Hardball. It is so good. There's tragedy. G baby dies, and that
Mm,
is the moment when he's speaking at the funeral, and when it
mm.
happens, and like he takes his brother to the side of the building, and the guys drive by and they're shooting, and he's like, it's all good, it's all good, and he looks down, and yeah, he got shot. And whew, intense.
That is tough.
Well,
That is,
I'm about to make you cry right now. I can see it in your
man.
face.
I'm telling you that movie. I have a thing with bullying too, and that whole when the one kid, the bigger kid, gets bullied.
Yeah,
I don't do like I literally like scream sometimes. Like I get mad. I just like how mad I get when I see those kinds of
yeah,
scenes. And yeah, that movie, that I deal with some stuff. I go on a couple journeys with that movie.
yeah. And speaking of journeys, like Keanu Reeves' character goes on a journey, for real, from
Yeah.
start to finish. Like, he's a gambler, he's wasting all his money away, he's doing this and that, and then
Well, he's wasting money he doesn't have.
yeah, exactly, he's got to pay it off. And no, you just get to that point at the end of the movie where those kids meant more than anything to him. Like, he realizes what they actually mean. And what team was he betting on at the end of the movie where he won the bet? Was it
I think
Chicago
I think it was because
or
I
the
think they
Bulls?
were NBA games he was betting on.
Yeah, it was the Bulls, I think.
The Bulls or the Knicks. It's one of those two.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, that's a solid number two, man.
I
Solid number two.
Like I said, Varsity Blues was gonna be up there, and you're probably gonna hate me for my number one, but let's before we get there, let's do some honorable mentions. Give
Honorable
me some of
mentions.
your
Okay, okay. I have Caddyshack on here. That was an honorable mention.
Yep.
But I believe when we were talking about it earlier that is more of a comedy
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
than a sports movie. Another golf movie called Greatest Game Ever Played with a young Shia LaBeouf.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
I've
Pretty
seen
good.
clips. I've never seen the movie.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's
Okay.
not bad. Bull Durham is up there. Another Kevin Costner
Okay.
baseball movie. Aging pitcher,
Okay.
I think is what he is. I think he's a pitcher in that movie. Um, yeah, but I feel like that could teeter towards more of the comedy
Yeah.
than the sports. Semi pro.
Definitely on the comedy side with that
Oh
one.
yeah, definitely on the comedy side. There's
Yeah.
so many good
Oh yeah.
one offs on that.
Yeah.
Have you tried a big bank yet? Jackie, Jackie, I can't cash this check.
I feel like you've seen that movie so many times too.
So many. Oh, get the funk out of my face. Get the funk out of my face.
I like it.
um Another one, it's a poker movie though,
Oh,
called
interesting.
Rounders.
Interesting.
Made in 98. Another Matt Damon movie, and a gosh, I had his name in my head this whole time. I knew I would forget it. It's Edward Norton.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Edward Norton plays a sly, cheating, card counting,
I think
this deck stacking guy. It's a great movie.
I'm pretty
Great
sure I've
movie.
seen it. I'm pretty sure I watched it in college, and I came by it out of nowhere, and I flipped it on. Yeah, good movie. Good movie.
Really good movie. So yeah, those would be, I would say, my honorable mentions. You got any?
Yeah, I have a couple. Varsity Blues, obviously, I put it in honorable mentions because I told myself in the last minute that it's a comedy. And once again, so many good one-liners. I gave it a 10. Like like my dad says that all the time. All the time. So Yeah, definitely Varsity Blues up there. So many funny moments. The other one I actually watched the other day, and before we even thought about talking about this, Little Giants.
That's a solid one. Yeah, that's a good
I
one.
love Little Giants, and it's Rick Moranis, and Rick Moranis is just
Oh
always
yeah,
goofy, and
always.
yeah, he plays the goofy dad, and you got the girl or his daughter who drives her go-kart around just like tomboy and playing football, playing little league football, and it is Pee-wee. It's so fun to watch and watch
It's
the other day.
pure, just pure.
I always remember the scene of the kid blowing the bubble with his nose, and they pop it. He's like, "Wow." So good. Another one is Invincible with Mark Wahlberg,
Ooh, okay.
where he goes to the combine and plays for the Eagles. Philly boy playing for the Eagles.
Yeah.
I've always loved that movie. Just thought it was really good. Uh, and then I have two more. One is just an absolute comedy, basketball. I
Oh,
love
that's a great
basketball.
one. That is a great one.
They create their own sport and they just yeah,
Yes, underrated.
such a good movie.
Underratedly. Yes, that should have been on my list.
Yeah. The guys that created South Park,
Yeah, it's Trey
Matt and
Parker,
Trey.
Matt and
Yeah,
Trey. Yep.
yeah. So I mean, I'm a huge South Park fan. So seeing that movie and watching it over and over and over again.
Real Big Fish is in it.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
Ska band.
yeah, yep. They play at halftime or something, don't
They
they?
play.
Or
They
like
play. They
the seventh inning stretch.
Yeah, they do like a 7 inch stretch. It turns out to be obviously the music montage of the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah,
And I think it's beer. I think they play beer. I think I'll have myself a beer. I think I'll
yeah.
have myself a.
Such a good movie.
It is a great movie. It's so many levels because it's
I
got
would,
Jenny McCartney's in it.
yeah, yeah,
A young Jenny, a
yeah.
very young Jenny.
I would love to just play basketball one time.
That would be a fun game to
I would
play.
love to see the field and oh my gosh, yeah. And it's such a funny movie, and it's so dumb.
It
But I
is. I think
love
that's the
it
thing.
so
That's
much.
the thing is that it is so stupid.
Yeah. My last one,
Ugh.
not a movie. It's a show. Friday Night Lights. This
Oh,
series. I love it and I can watch it over and over and over again. I love Tim Riggins and it's Taylor Kitsch that plays him. And there's so many good characters in that first episode of the first season. If you have not seen it, you might bawl your eyes out because of what happens. So if you have not seen Friday Night Lights, the show, go watch it. It came out in probably like 2005 or 2006. I don't remember. It's been so long ago. But Taylor Kitsch is in it, and he's a really good actor. He
I'd
hasn't
like
been
to
in a whole lot of stuff, but
I'd like to throw in one more.
do it.
The Replacements.
So Colton, my number one movie.
No.
Yes, The Replacements.
That is awesome.
I love Keanu Reeves. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I love Keanu Reeves, and I love The Replacements. I love the comeback story of the coach, which I think
Gene
his name,
Hackman.
yeah, Gene Hackman, who plays Jim McGinty in the movie. Um, the Washington Sentinels
The
is
Sentinels.
what their name was.
Yes. I just watched it the other night.
Oh my gosh, it's such a good movie. I love The Replacements.
You know who also's in it? Is super, super, super young in it.
Give it
You
to me.
know it.
Oh, if
You know it.
you say it, I'm gonna pull it up and be like, "Yep."
Jon Favreau.
Oh yeah, Johnny Boy.
He
Johnny Boy.
plays that. He plays the police dude who's
Yep.
just crazy.
Yep. Yep. Keanu Reeves plays Shane Falco. Came out in
Yep.
2000. Such a good movie. It's pretty much that B team coming in and playing. The Washington Sentinels players go on strike. They have to hire in these guys to come play. Shane Falco's an ex high school quarterback that got injured and comes back and he plays for the Sentinels and is super terrible at first, but gets better and they play really well. There's a lot of bullying in that movie. Those guys flip his car how many times, I think.
Oh, that truck gets
Yeah,
abused.
yeah.
Oh, isn't that Big from Robin Big?
Is he in it? Is
Yeah, he's one of
Christopher
he's the
Boykin?
twin. Yeah. I think that is him.
Oh man, he was probably so much like smaller at that point. Now I have to go
Yeah, I
back and
mean,
look
he
at
was still
pictures.
big. He's still big, but his
Yeah,
brother that they got to play him, he was bigger than him.
yeah,
So he looked a little small. Yeah, he
yeah,
shoots up a Porsche.
yeah. Okay, yeah. You maybe I have to go back and look again, but it's been a while since I watched it. But it's one of those movies that just sticks, and yeah, I really, really enjoy The Replacement. So now I know that's not your number one since you were
No,
just
it's
putting that,
not.
which is crazy because
That
yeah.
is crazy. I mean, it's a great. It's definitely. There's a lot of movies we missed. I think we need to
Oh yeah.
clarify that right now.
Oh
I'd
yeah.
love to hear everybody else's top five
Mm-hmm.
sports movies. Try to stick with the same guidelines that we stuck with, but
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to do.
Oh yeah.
One thing I did notice that we didn't. Well, let me say my number one. Okay, so my number one movie is actually a black and white one. Um,
Yeah. Just what you're talking to me about. Yeah.
yeah, it's not Raging Bull either for you guys guessing out there. Um, 1961. It's actually based off a book. Um, it's called The Hustler. It's a movie about pool. Um, it's got Paul Newman, starring Paul Newman as Fast Eddie, and Jackie Gleason, kind of a funny guy, as Minnesota Fats. Minnesota Fats, I do believe, is a real pool player.
Okay.
Um, he kind of ran the pool halls back in the day. I think, I don't want to say because I can't think of it, but I do think he is based in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
um, but anywho, Jackie Gleason at the time, he was known for taking funny roles, and this was one of his more serious roles he ever took. And not saying that he wasn't funny during some of his lines, but I mean, it was a pretty serious role. It's a pretty serious movie. It's about Fast Eddie Nelson, who's a pool shark who's trying to make his name in the pool world, and he goes on this journey to play and win against Minnesota Fats, who at the time was the best. Well, he gets there the first time, and he doesn't do well, hard on his luck, finds himself a gal who's an alcoholic, and she's
Yeah.
going through stuff. He goes through stuff. He goes through a pool hall, ends up getting his thumbs broke, so he's on this redemption journey, and kind of how what brings the best out of him is when he's trying to prove people wrong. And I think that's how that's how I relate to him the most, is that that's why I probably relate to the movie so much, is that that's when I feel like I'm at my best, is when I've got people telling me I'm no good or I'm not very good, so I'm
Yeah.
going to show you why I'm better than you right now, and I'm going to beat you the entire time we're on this same floor together. And so I think having that kind of makes it my number one. They actually made a remake back in the '90s with Tom Cruise and Paul Newman again,
Really.
called The Color of Money. I don't like the way it ends though. It's a it's a frustrating ending to a movie, but I just like it. It's just one of my favorite movies to watch.
That's
So
interesting. Pool. I didn't see there are a ton of sports I didn't think about. Bowling, pool, um, man, swimming and diving, NASCAR. Like I was thinking
yeah,
NASCAR and
Days of
racing earlier.
Thunder,
Days of Thunder. Yeah. Like see, I mean,
Talladega
man.
Nights.
Actually, if you want to see a really good, and it's a music video for a oh I cannot think of the band. It's a country band. It's a music video they did, and it's about dirt track racing. Oh my gosh. It's filmed so well. The cinematography is amazing. And
Hmm.
I can't remember. And if Darren's listening, you remember it because we watched it together when it came out. So, but yeah, there's so many sports we didn't think of, and
Well,
billiards is one of them.
you know what movies we didn't say that I feel like is going to get us in trouble?
The Blind Side.
Oh, that's definitely no. That's no, I think
I
we'll be okay.
I've had 3 people tell me The Blind Side's in their top five.
Oh gosh, it's a terrible movie.
Yeah, I
Never mind. Never mind the never mind the accuracy of the movie. It's too over the top for me.
it's
That's
a
the
little over top.
problem. Yeah. Anywho, we didn't mention any of the Rocky movies.
Oh yeah, boxing. That was the other one. That was
I
the other
think
one.
and I'm not a big Stallone fan, so that's why
No.
it's Rocky will never be in
Adrian.
Adrian, Adrian,
What is it? What is it? This turtle food's got so many flies, not enough moss. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
didn't. Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't even think about putting any of the Rocky movies in there.
Hmm. Yeah.
I'm sure those will pop up on some people's list, but
Well, and you got the Creed movies that came out after it too, and you got to think of all these boxing movies. I'm sure there's MMA movies out there and wrestling movies like The Wrestler.
yeah,
I mean,
is that the one with
yes,
who's
yes. I can't think of
Paul
his name.
Giamatti's in a movie. He plays a dad of one of the kids in a wrestling movie. I cannot think. It's an indie type movie.
Okay.
Um Early 2000s.
No, this is earlier than that. This
Oh,
is
okay.
the guy that played, and I'm so mad I can't think of his name right now. The guy that played Whiplash in Iron Man 2. Um
Rourke?
yeah, Mickey
O'Rourke?
Rourke. Mickey Rourke.
Mickey
Yep.
Rourke?
Yep. And I'm sorry if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's who it is. And I remember my dad telling me about that movie at one point, so I watched it. And yeah, I mean it's a good movie.
An,
It's more of a drama, but
Another thing that we didn't have any Adam Sandler movies in here.
yes, that was
He definitely did make the criteria.
no. Um yeah, the criteria was the movie had to be more about sports. And I want to say Happy Gilmore is it's a lot of it's about golf, but I think there's a lot of underlying things and it's a comedy. And then go to The Water Boy. Like I said, more of a comedy. The only one that I think would probably fit as an Adam Sandler movie is The Longest Yard. But if I'm going to choose The Longest Yard, I'm going to choose the original Longest Yard. I'm not going to choose the
Smart
new one.
man,
Yeah.
smart man.
So yeah, there you go. Our
I'd love to hear everybody who listens to this their top 5 favorite sports
yes,
movies.
please comment on Facebook.
Please make fun
Facebook.
of Draft Day. Please make fun of Draft
Don't make
Day.
fun of Draft Day. I think it's a great
It
movie.
is a terrible movie, just awful.
Go back and watch it, Colton. Go back and watch it again. But yeah, send us your comments on Facebook. Just give us a shout and tell us what your top 5 are. Let us know what you think of our top 5s. Tell us if we missed anything, any sports that you think should have been in there, any movies that you think should have been in there. Because I was having so much fun listening to people tell me what their top 5 were when they were asking what the next episode was going to be about, and I think
Yeah,
it's just interesting.
my favorite thing is when you brought up like basketball. Like
Yeah,
that's the stuff I was like, oh, how did I not remember that?
yeah.
Like that's the stuff that I enjoy when I get feedback from stuff like this. Like I can't believe I forgot about that.
And I'm telling you right now, I have seen Hardball probably 150 times. Like I've seen it so many times and I didn't even think about it. I was set on a lot of those movies that I've seen more recently, and there's just some that I forgot about. And it's easy to forget them because there's so freaking many sports movies out there. So yeah, that's our top 5, each of our top 5s and some honorable mentions in there. I will actually post a list, so if you need to go back and look and see what we said ours were, I'll post those along with the podcast notes, and on Facebook, I'll post those too. So yeah, good job, Colton. You put that together pretty well.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I both of us spent a lot of our childhood playing sports, whether it was basketball, baseball, football. So
Yeah.
tennis, golf, whatever else you played. I didn't
Yeah,
really play as many as you did. I ran track and field.
I
Oh man,
played.
there's another sport, track and field. I'm sure there's track and field movies out there.
Oh, geez, I can't. I don't know.
I don't know either.
The only
Probably.
one I could think of is The Ringer.
Oh
And
no.
I don't think that one's
Johnny
it.
Knoxville.
I don't think that one's it. Definitely
Nope.
can't make that movie today.
Nope. Probably not. 100% guaranteed. You cannot make the ringer in today's time. But it'll make you laugh. It'll make you laugh a lot. So, yes. Thank
Yeah.
you all for listening. We're going to get out of here. We are going to I'm gonna go eat some more pizza because I had some pizza earlier and it was
Yeah,
pretty
I
good.
got food. I got food waiting on me too.
Colton's got food waiting. So, everybody, thanks for listening to the Call Guys podcast. You can check us out on Facebook. That's facebook.com/the Call Guys pod. Also on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram just under the Call Guys. We post videos every week. I usually post about 3, and they're just clips from our YouTube. Also, guys, we got a new logo, and it's pretty killer. I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, that's right. We got a new Call Guys logo. It was done by One Up Graphics on Instagram, so go check them out. He does some really good work. He also created a new YouTube intro for us to go underneath our intro music that we have. That way, the beginning of our YouTube videos aren't just black screen. So yeah, go check that out. They did our Flying V Games logo too, actually, back in the day, and they did a really good job. He's quick work. He's pretty cheap, and he'll do it really well, and good at animating and everything like that. So yeah, go check us out on Instagram. Check out our new logo, and check us out on YouTube too. Just look up the Call Guys podcast. Listen to us everywhere you get your podcasts. That is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, anywhere you get your podcasts. We're there. Try to find us. You'll find us. Also check out Golden Image Podcast. That's facebook.com/Golden Image Podcast. And the Murd Nerds Podcast. That's facebook.com/Murd Nerds. And then finally, check out the United States of Paranormal Podcast. They just came out with their first official episode, and they pretty much cover anything spooky, cryptid, and pretty much downright paranormal. So go check them out. Their first episode was about the Demon House, which is actually in Gary, Indiana, which is not too far away from us. They have two teams. They have a Texas team and an Indiana team. And of course, the Emperor, being the Emperor, has landed on that podcast, and he is on the Indiana team along with Alicia from Murd Nerds. So check them out on Facebook. Just search for the United States of Paranormal Podcast.
Choo 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 choo.
Got anything you want to add there, Colton?
No, man, you do a great job every time. I just want you to know that.
Just say I have it written in front of me.
I know.
It helps a lot to have it written. I know I had
Oh,
it a
for
little
sure.
bit, but it's there and it helps a lot. Just keeps me on track. So, everybody, thank you for listening. Thanks for enjoying this time with us. I had a lot of fun talking about sports movies. And here in the future, I'm sure we're going to talk about more sports movies and maybe get into depth on some of our favorite movies. So, yeah, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.